somebody who's in much better shape than Michelle Obama, somebody who has Michelle Obama arms. Is that a thing? Is that a term? Yikes. The great Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, hopefully she's still on the program after I said she has Michelle Obama arms. We'll see. Who's on the Oversight and Homeland Security committees, joins the program now. I'm sorry, I realized how insulting that was, Congresswoman, when I said it. And I know you work out. I know you could probably kick my ass, especially in a CrossFit gym. And so I meant it as a compliment.
Well, thank you, Benny. I really appreciate that. I can assure you I don't have Michelle Obama arms, but I am strong and healthy and in shape in spite of, I turned 50 years old this year too. So I was really laughing at Tucker's clip there, and Michelle Obama obviously trying to relate to middle-aged women all over America, because yes, very likely she probably does want to run for president. And the setup is clear, and it has been clear to many of us for quite some time. And she stated it herself on that recent interview, excuse me, saying that she believes government does everything for the American people. And you know what? That is the outlook of the Democrats, because they are communist and they want the government to be the solution for everything for Americans, but yet they want Americans to fit the bill. And that's dangerous.
So there's a trend going around, a lot of whispers that Joe Biden's there to survive through the primary season, so that there is no primary for the Democrats, and nobody has a chance to run against Michelle Obama, and nobody has a chance to actually run against whoever they've chosen, and that then you do the switcheroo in the spring. What do you think about that?
I think it's very possible. And Joe Biden, his mental state is not well. It's displayed on camera all the time. This is something that's unavoidable. They can't cover it up enough. And they're excited when his meds kick in and he actually has a really good day and it covers up his dementia, or he doesn't fall down on stage. But it's clear and obvious to everyone that's watching when Jill Biden has to go up there on stage, grab him by the hand and basically drag him off because he's wandering around in a state of dementia, is dazed and confused, and they can't cover this up. It's going to get worse, and it continues to get worse. And we hear some very bad rumors out of the White House about his condition. Another thing is they can't get past his policies. But here's the deal, Benny. Here's what everyone needs to understand, and I'm going to give this kind of like marching orders. No matter who runs for president, if they replace him, whether it's Michelle Obama or someone else, and I don't know who that would be, their policies are all the same, because this is Obama's third term, and all the people working in the White House in the Biden administration are the same people that were in the Obama White House. So if it's Michelle Obama, she owns Joe Biden's policies. She owns the Biden administration. She owns the failure. She owns the Green New Deal. She owns the inflation. She owns the wide open border. There will be no difference. As a matter of fact, if Michelle Obama runs for president and replaces Joe Biden, I will argue that everything we've seen for the past few years under a Joe Biden presidency will be far worse under a Michelle Obama presidency, because that's exactly what they want. That has been the plan the entire time. So I'll tell everyone watching this show right now, if this is the plan and this is what's going to happen, you know exactly what to do. You tie Michelle Obama to every single thing the Biden administration has done, because it is the Obama's third administration.
So Alex Jones in a recent interview said that Joe Biden was caught naked at the White House, wandering around 2 a.m., doesn't know where he is, doesn't know who he is. You work in Washington, D.C. You're on committees with access to classified information and a lot of knowledge. You're a very well-known member of Congress. Have you ever heard anything like this?
Well, I can't get into specifics, but I've heard very bad rumors as well. And I can't tell you who told me that and where that came from. But we've heard terrible things. And like I said, the evidence of that has been.
Can you give us some of them? Like what kind of terrible thing?
Well, I would say that what Alex Jones told his viewers is not far off. And that's a terrifying and unfortunate situation. But I'll go a step further. We saw Joe Biden on a trip in a foreign country I believe it was last year, or perhaps maybe it was 2021. And he fell down and definitely had an accident, and that was hard for them to cover up. But this is the reality of people in their 80s or late stage in life, especially when they suffer from conditions like late stage dementia or Alzheimer's. This is where people's faculties fail, and it's not uncommon. But unfortunately, Joe Biden is having it happen to him literally while he is being president of the United States. And this is another reason why I think we'll see them take Joe Biden and replace him with someone like Michelle Obama.
So you're saying that Joe Biden fell and soiled himself on a trip abroad?
That's what I heard happened to him, and that's what many other people were told as well.
There's been a lot of reports of him letting out a long, loud fart in the presence of the King and Queen of England, and that comes directly from the royal family. So, I guess maybe this is Joe Biden showing us renewable gas and how valuable green energy can be. Nonetheless, this is a terrifying prospect, and it's terrifying to the elites. It's terrifying, I guess, to us. A lot of elites are terrified. Now you're tweeting about Epstein Island. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to tweet about this, Congresswoman, because, well, you have the right to actually tell the FBI, right? You have oversight, correct? Like, your Article 1, the executive branch's Article 2. If the FBI has all of these tapes, which you've tweeted about, and all of this evidence of rape and human trafficking, I mean, couldn't presumably Congress force the FBI's hand to give up that information? Couldn't you create a private SCIF where you could have access to what they know happened on Jeffrey Epstein's island, which we know was wired like a Christmas tree with video cameras and with photos, 20,000 CDs, 20,000 hard drives that were taken from the island by our intelligence agencies? Why don't you have access? Do you have access to that? And why don't you? If you don't, why not?
Well, Benny, I absolutely agree that we should have access to it. And I have a planned meeting this week with Chairman Comer of the Oversight Committee, because I'm going to start demanding that. And I believe that if the FBI has evidence that covers up the rape and child abuse of minors associated with Jeffrey Epstein, whether it was on his island, whether it was in New York, whether it was on any of his properties, on his airplane, and the FBI is holding that evidence, then the American people deserve to know about it, and there should be people going to jail. I don't care how powerful they are. I don't care who they are. I do not care anything about that. And the FBI would be completely complicit with these crimes if they've been hiding this information. But let's also take a step back and remind everyone, we have not had a very good relationship with the FBI, this Congress. I serve on the Oversight Committee, and we had subpoenaed the FD 1023 form that gave intel and information of bribery against Hunter Biden and Joe Biden in the form of $5 million payments coming from the Ukrainian oligarch that owns Burisma. And Christopher Wray did not want to give us that form and withheld that form. And as a matter of fact, went so far as forcing us, in order to be able to see it, we had to go read it in a SCIF. Yet this form is a completely unclassified form, and we should have never been able to have to go in a SCIF and read it. As a matter of fact, the American people, anyone should have been able to hold it in their hand and read it because it's unclassified. So I would expect a very difficult time working with the FBI to get the information, the files, the photos, all of the information they have on Jeffrey Epstein and the people that he collected and the FBI collected intel on for years and years as they used him as an intelligent asset, spying on rich and powerful people all over the world, especially people in the United States, very powerful people. But I believe this is something that we cannot allow to fall through the cracks. So I look forward to working with Chairman Comer and my Oversight Committee and people in my conference to move forward, do everything we can to get our hands on that information.
Yeah, I mean, Marsha Blackburn's being stopped in the Senate, but the Republicans don't control the Senate, right? So Dick Durbin, big friend of Bill Clinton, is stopping the flight logs from coming out. Couldn't you presumably subpoena the flight logs?
Yes, we could, Benny. And I'll tell you, I have a great frustration with my conference because remember, we told everyone across the country when we took the majority that we had the power of the purse. And we absolutely do have the power of the purse, no matter how slim our majority is. But the problem is we don't have the willpower here in Congress. Republicans don't have the willpower to make the necessary steps in order to force the Biden administration, the FBI, and the Department of Justice into compliance. Now, if I had it my way, I would say you want one single penny from the House of Representatives, then you're going to have to hand over these files.